What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, it's a pretty bad topic to discuss today. So the weekend box office numbers, or the first week box office numbers, are in for Transformers 1, and it is very bad. It's looking extremely horrible for Transformers 1 right now. So I'm going to break everything down and give you guys my thoughts on it, and also what could happen in the next couple weeks. And also, Transformers 1 is going on streaming and is going up for sale with the DVDs and stuff October 11th, I'm pretty sure. People were saying it was announced yesterday. So, I don't know what to make of this, guys. The movie just came out. They're not even giving this movie a month in theaters. Think about this, guys. The movie just came out September 20th, 4 days ago. And they've already announced it's going to be on streaming October 11th, not even a month after the release. That's what, like 3 weeks? 2.5 weeks? Man, guys, this is worse than Rise of the Beast turnaround, because at least Rise of the Beast was about a month. I think, so Rise of the Beast came out June 9th, right? And then it was announced on streaming like a week or two later that it would come out on streaming. I think it was July 12th was the date. So a little over a month they gave Rise of the Beast until it was on streaming. Or I think it might have been late July, like July 20-something or whatever. But I do know they gave Rise of the Beast a little over a month in theaters. They're not even giving TF1 a month, which is absolutely insane if you ask me. Now, I know there are differences that this is animated and Rise of the Beast was live action, so there's a bit of difference there in terms of hype and obviously box office numbers and just the logistics of an animated versus live action movie. But still, when you compare that, that is pretty strange. That's crazy. But in terms of the box office failure this weekend, so the movie was originally projected to make 30 to 40 million domestically, which is only the US, and I think Canada counts as well. And the final numbers were 39 million domestically and internationally combined. Not just domestically, but with the international numbers too. Now, keep in mind, too, there is the fact that it hasn't released in every country overseas, but it's released in a lot of countries overseas. I mean, it's really not that many right now. But do keep in mind there probably will be an uptick in sales once it comes out in other countries in the coming days or weeks, whenever those other countries drop the movie. And also, you know, when it does come out on streaming and the DVD sales and the merchandise sales, that will boost it a little bit too. But I don't know how much that's going to save it, because we're only at 39 million. And the fact that this is really bad, it's because the first week of a movie's release is probably the most important time for box office returns and overall hype and word of mouth of the movie, for it to have legs and to continue to have somewhat of a good or decent run in the second, third, or fourth week, for it to be in theaters that long, a whole month or two. And it seems like they're not even really giving Transformers 1 a chance for at least a month, 4 weeks, which is insane to me again. So it really does seem like Transformers 1 failed to meet all the expectations that it truly needed to have power in the theater and for it to actually make money. Because, again, I know there's a lot of younger people watching this that don't really understand movie finances in the movie industry, but a movie needs to make money for the franchise to do good and for us to get a sequel if we want one. They don't just make a movie for the fun of it, spend hundreds of millions of dollars, and then don't expect a return on profit. That's not how it works. There needs to be profit made, and they need, I think it was around 150 million that they need for this movie to be a profit against a $75 million budget alone. Now, I don't know if that includes marketing as well, or if that's just the base budget for the movie itself. But if marketing isn't even included, we're probably looking at 90 million maybe for what they spent on the movie in total with making it in the budget, I'd say maybe. But honestly, they didn't even really market the movie that much or that well at all to begin with. So I really do feel like that was a part of the downside as well. it was the same case with Rise of the Beast last year. They didn't really market stuff too good, and they really paid the price because of that, you know? And it all goes back to what happened during the last night. What was that, 7 years ago? They're still hanging on to this almost a decade later, that they can't spend a lot of marketing on a Transformers movie because of what happened to the last night. If you guys remember, the marketing campaign for that movie was insane. Paramount was spending millions upon millions upon millions upon millions. It was horrendous. With a bloated budget, I think it was like $225 million, which is an insane budget for what that movie ultimately had, if you ask me. And they blew it. And it failed at the box office. It only did, I think it was like $600 million, somewhere around that. And they're still hanging on to that almost a decade later, after the Bumblebee movie, after Rise of the Beast, and with Transformers 1 here, is just the latest in line to suffer from Paramount not wanting to spend money on marketing the movie that they made for Transformers because of what happened in the last night. It just makes no sense. Well, it makes sense to me, but the fact that they're still hanging on to that when it basically costed them profit on Rise of the Beast, and it's now costing them profit on Transformers 1 here, it just baffles me. So I really do think they're probably going to learn from this lesson with Rise of the Beast and Transformers 1 here, and really try and find ways to market the G.I. Joe and Transformers movie coming out in a couple years in a way that actually produces profit and puts butts in the seats at these theaters, because again, it is very important that these movies make money, because if they don't, we're not seeing a Transformers movie for a long time. We're not getting sequels to Transformers 1. We're not getting sequels to Rise of the Beast anymore. That's ultimately what it comes down to. And Hasbro's going to suffer. I don't think the toy lines are really going to suffer, because it always seemed like it was a separate entity from the live action stuff and what they were doing with Paramount. But who knows? Maybe it will. I'm not an expert in the logistics with how that stuff works. But I don't know. It wouldn't be good if they did the same exact thing for the next live-action movie. They didn't market it a lot. They didn't do what they needed to do, and that movie flops as well. Because the real test is going to be the live-action movie in a couple years, the G.I. Joe crossover, which is rumored to drop in 2026. That's the date Lorenzo gave, summer of 2026. Which may or may not be happening, because it seems like they're still in the early stages of writing a script in September of 2024, over a year after basically announcing the movie, the G.I. Joe crossover. So I don't know what they're doing all this time with a script. Again, I've covered this in previous videos, but that's a mess in itself. Things are just a mess right now with the movie side of Transformers. It's just insane to me, guys. I don't know what the future holds. They just really gotta do their best on this next live-action movie, because it's really riding on how well the live-action movie does. Because Transformers 1 is animated, you know, there's not a lot behind animated movies. Live-action just has a lot more to it in Hollywood and in the world in general within the industry. So that's just how it works. Live-action stuff just gets a lot more eyes on it. It just gets the bigger budget. It gets the more attention. So it's really going to depend on the next live action movie, how well that does. And it's really going to depend on how well of a movie Paramount wants to make. And it seems like they would want it bad, I would assume. But judging how incompetent Lorenzo is, how many incompetent people they like to put on the team of these Transformers movies, I don't know. I'm not really too confident that we're going to get that, but I'll remain optimistic. We still have a couple years to go with this live-action movie. They just got to make a good story. They got to market it well. They just have to bring out all the stops on this live-action movie, because they're really shooting themselves in the foot, not doing the best that they could do in terms of marketing these movies recently. But yeah, guys, if I keep going on, I'm just going to get more upset and just go around in circles, because it's really a mess right now with the movies. If you haven't seen Transformers 1 yet, go out there and see it. Support the movie. I'm trying to crowdfund a $1 billion corporation, but at the end of the day, I just love to see more Transformers content. I am a Transformers fiend, so obviously I want to see more. I want to see the franchise do well. I want to keep this channel going, keep talking to you guys, and I don't want to see Transformers fail. Transformers is what's saved me in a lot of ways in life. So I don't want this franchise to go away. I don't want it to become He-Man or G.I. Joe, So, yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know down in the comments below. How do y'all feel about the box office for Transformers 1? All my social medias are linked down below, including my email if you guys want to hit me up about business inquiries, or if you want to message me about whatever. Or if you want to commission a diorama from me, because I make dioramas for people for their stop motions, photography, or just regular display shelves in your homes. You could either hit me up on any of my social media accounts or just email me and we can work out a deal. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye!